Hey everybody, it's Alana from Truly Great Life, and I'm trying this live thing again because I want to share something that happened yesterday and I don't have time to make it a whole post or whatever, so I figured I'd just do live. So as I'm sure many of you know or are experiencing, seniors in high school right now are, if they're thinking of going to college, dealing with applications and all of the stress and everything around there. And I know that one of the big things is, writing the essay, this personal statement, whether it's for the Common App or whatever. And my kid, who is a senior, is done with that for the most part and was super motivated, and writing is one of her strong suits, etc. But I wanted to share that I had a conversation with one of my neighbor's kids yesterday, just happenstance, and it got me so fired up and so excited because so let's say you are a young adult, right? You're a senior, or you have a senior, or you know someone who is dealing with exactly what I'm talking about, this college application thing. So, and this kid was he had no idea what to write. And so, you kick the can down the road. It's stressful. You don't want to think about it. It's still only August. So why not just wait? But we were having this conversation and I was sharing that, how, what's my point here? I basically was saying how amazing a kid I think he is from the little I know of him, from what I see just as a neighbor. And I was sharing things that to me as an outsider were so obvious, but when it's you or it's your kid, you don't necessarily see it. Or if it's something that you're really good at, maybe you take it for granted, or maybe you think everyone likes that, or maybe you think it's not special. So the whole thing with these college essays, right? Unfortunately, or whatever it is, the way the system is, if you've got great scores, that's very nice, but so do a lot of other applicants. If you've got great grades, very nice, so do a lot of other applicants. If you've got, whatever it is, there's so much competition. And so, and I'm saying this as a coach and as a mom, I'm not saying this as a college person because I don't work in the college system, but it's the same with jobs. You may have certain skills and whatever, but what is the special sauce that makes you different, right? What is it that is original and unique to you that you can then tap into? So it was a conversation about how I see, so this kid, it's pretty amazing, fixes up old cars and will spend hours with friends, with siblings on these cars, making them work, getting engines, putting the engine in, learning on YouTube, amazing. We've come home and he's in the garage with a blowtorch, right? I mean, we live in this society where many parents can be a little more cautious than they have been in the past. And to his parents, amazing credit. This kid is very hands-on, a fixer, tinkerer, and drives these cars. So I was just sharing how it's incredible, it is unique, and it's a passion. I know there's all this passion, blah, 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 but you need to have that thing you're enthusiastic about in order to stick with something for the long term, because you will have bumps in the road, but also because that is what you can bring and make you stand out, is that love of it, is that coming alive with it. So he could write about music. He's a musician. He could write about, nature and camping and all kinds of things. That might be a little more common or a little bit more, right? So I was just sharing this car tinkering thing is pretty special, and he loves it. All this to say, like I did with my kid, I shared these suggestions with him. His parents seem to resonate with them very much, so I'm just sharing them with you. Start with a brain dump, right? Start with a brainstorm. Do not start writing. Just get the ideas and those bullet points, even just a list of what have you done? What is exciting to you? How do you spend your time? What would you tinker with if you had all the time in the world and didn't have to worry about anything else? Or what is it that you gravitate towards? Okay? And just write it all down without judging it. like any brainstorm session, just get it in writing, get it out of your head, because you can't discern what is worth trying to craft something with those bullet points until you get it out of your head. So start with that, and then see if there's, and I don't know that, I was blanking out on the name of like what it is when you have that kind of vehicle or a literary device or whatever it is. So in my daughter's case, she used her name because her name has a meaning, and she was able to weave it into her story and tie it up with a bow. And it I think was pretty compelling. And so even if he's touching on different aspects of his essay, the musician part, whatever, if you weave it in with the vehicle of the vehicle, maybe that would help root it, ground it, create a structure around it so that it sticks. Now, if you happen to be a college counselor or, one of those people who has a business advising young adults about how to get in college, like, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Like, if you think this makes sense at all. But the thing about embracing what really lights you up and then figuring out how to convey that in the essay, answering the question, is going to, I think, make you stand out as an applicant. Yes, depending on what you're applying to, grades matter. Yes, your experiences during the summers, whatever, matter, or if you've worked or whatever it is, and your scores, if your school requires scores. What is unique to you, even if someone else has it? Obviously, there's going to be kids out there who are also tinkering with cars. It's not like that is a unique thing, 100%, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be, but it should be something that conveys your humanity and your character and your strengths. So starting to brain dump that, and if you're still, or your loved one that you're, trying to help is still like stuck, do what I did, which is hold up a mirror to this kid, right? This young adult. And sometimes for parents even, they're just too close, right? Or they can't see it, or there's stress in it, right? So it gets all commingled. But ask someone, even who doesn't even know your kid well, like a neighbor, like, what do you, if they've seen you, if they have a relationship, because even as like a non-family member, just having had conversations or whatever, just ask people, right? So it's like a 360, right? In business, you get feedback from multiple people on your team or whatever it is. Get a 360 from people who know you. What do they think? What do they think of when they think of you? What are the things that they think you light up around? You don't have to use it, right? But just kind of get that data, that information, and see where it goes. Because, the hardest thing is when you're trying to write and it's a blank page and you're just drawing a blank on that blank page. So ask others for the feedback. Make a bullet list, brainstorm without judging it. There's going to be a couple iterations. Figure out a way to make it a story. You want to be telling a story. And you are completely, this kid, whatever, you completely unique. And so embrace it. And that's all I wanted to say. So good luck to all of us with seniors in high school dealing with college. And Shabbat Shalom. Everyone have a great weekend. And if you're in the States and have a long weekend because of Labor Day weekend, then have a great Labor Day weekend. Okay, bye-bye.